Mary, you pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Vice President Darrell Baker, County Clerk; Charles Vance, President; Phoebe Harless, Commissioner; J.K. Matthews, Commissioner. First, I need a motion to approve the minutes of the special session public hearing of the Lincoln County Commission held on March 16, 2017 at 5:50 p.m.
I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The next, I need a motion to approve the minutes of the regular session of Lincoln County Commission meeting that was held on March 16, 2017 at 6 p.m.
I'll move.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We have one person on public comment, Chad Story, Representative of Deacon's office.
How are you guys tonight?
All right, sir.
Very quick. The first thing of two different things is the response to your letter to the congressman asking for his assistance with HUD and the Lower Mud River phase 1, I think, extension project. We sent letters to HUD. We've not heard back. We forwarded your concerns to them. We've not heard back. I think I sent you the letter too. Yeah. We sent in March. We've not heard back. If it was approved, we have not heard yet.
I think we received communication.
The waiver, I mean, the application was approved. Yeah, we haven't got the actual waiver.
The waiver, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're on the same page. Yeah, so once we hear back from the man, I knew that part, but once we hear back from him about the waiver, we'll see what we need to do then. Hopefully, we'll let you know, and you may know before we know.
Tell the congressman we appreciate his help on this.
Yeah, you're welcome. And the second thing is, I came before you last year. The congressman had introduced, I'll make sure I get the name right, revitalizing the economy of coal communities by leveraging local activities and investing more, which is basically the Reclaim Act. And basically what that does, it releases $1 billion from the AML fund to help certain states, which is West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Kentucky, those states basically. And West Virginia would be getting $200 million for economic development projects on abandoned mining sites, basically. So the way it would work, it would come to the state, and the state would work with local governments, and they would decide who would get the money. It's like block grant, basically.
Was there 5 counties or 7 counties?
No, it'd be a state. So there's $1 billion, but West Virginia's cut would be about $200 million.
I thought it was like the southern counties are the ones that.
For this, it would come as a block grant.
Okay.
So hopefully the southern counties, we would use it to leverage them. That's what we need more, I think. But most of that would definitely go, $200 million for West Virginia. It didn't go through last Congress, and we're hoping it will this time. So that we've actually done some, it's in front of the Natural Resource Committee, and Chairman Rogers, who will actually the chairman of the appropriations before, he went for me yesterday, and we're sending some letters trying to get some support for that. So, and on the Senate side, Senator Capito is a sponsor. Here's just a release, tell you more about that. I can send you more information. So, but we're hoping that goes through. Last year we had done a $90 million pilot project, and I think West Virginia got around $30 million of that. So there's 3 states for that as well. That's what we're working on. I'll let you know how that progresses throughout the Congress. Any questions or?
On the grant monies, does this basically say what it could be used for and things like that?
Yeah, they're going to with AML monies, you know how that is. They're going to have the specs on that. So it has to, since it's AML money, it has to go through their guidelines. So they'll have certain specifications what you can use it for, what you cannot. So it's like our first step's getting approved. So we'll go from there. Anything else? Okay, thanks. Appreciate it.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move on to discussion concerning possible action. We had a request for overtime from the sheriff, is that right? Mm-hmm. 4 hours?
3.
3 hours. Anytime that the sheriff has asked for this, I bring it before the commission because I think we need to decide on how to, we went through going over the personnel policies and how we wish this to be handled. And I don't want, you know, this overtime to be accumulated and not have some mechanism to deal with it. I think we have a good policy in place as far as how to deal with it, but I didn't know if he's asking for 3 hours overtime this time. And he does state it's for a breaking and entering call and domestic call in the Harts Creek area. What we have instructed the sheriff is if they have 3 hours overtime, just let them off during that time period for 3 hours to make up that difference. But I didn't know if the commission wanted to do anything different with this or not. I don't know what else we could do other than maybe set aside X number of hours per pay period that he can do if you want to do that.
You've already mentioned it.
Yeah, I know, I've talked, and that's the only thing, but I mean, if it's, I just really don't feel good about people working and not getting reimbursed for it, but there is, if he would submit a written request for 3 or 4 hours overtime during a time period prior to it being incurred, then he'd be along the lines of what we asked all the other elected officials to do.
That was a Friday, the 3rd.
So I just wanted to bring it forward to the commission. I don't care to talk to the sheriff again. We kind of, or I can, if it's the commission's wish, I can send him a letter stating that if he sees that he's going to have overtime, and we've talked to him about mental hygiene and things like that. So I mean, he's aware of how to handle those. But I would, you know, if it's okay with the commission, I'll send him a letter stating that if he anticipates incurring, you know, 3 to 5 hours overtime, he would send us a letter in advance to that, and we could act on any that would be incurred. Is that all right with you all? I mean, that's the way everyone else does is request it, or I don't have to do anything. I mean, I think we went over this 3 or 4 different times as far as how to handle this.
This is a little bit tricky with certain things like mental hygiene, but I think, isn't there an exception for mental hygiene?
Yeah,
If
there's
you-
always an exception for that.
Because sometimes you get into situations where you can't, maybe not adjust. I think they should try to adjust their time if they can, but.
And you're saying
there
it's
is-
Friday, the last day of the pay period, is that what you're saying? or
No.
It wasn't? Okay.
So it was on a Friday.
It was just a Friday, but not the last day of the week.
Wasn't be the last day of the week, though. You'd have to,
Yeah, but
you'd have to work
well,
midweek.
what we're talking about doing is, he just wouldn't come, just like if he worked 3 hours over on a Friday, he'd just take 3 hours off on Monday and not come in till.
Yeah, if
next
he hadn't, if that's, you know, if Friday was the last day he worked, he couldn't have done the you know, couldn't have took the next.
That week he
day off.
could,
But it- but it-
within that pay period, he could.
Within the pay period. they
Within
call
the
it.
pay
Yeah, because that's within the pay period, you're looking at a 2-week period there, and I think as long as it's taken care of in that pay period, we don't have to do anything around it, so. But if it's okay with the commission, I'll go over this again with him, because, you know, all other elected officials have to do this, and the same thing's being done each time, and which is incurring, overtime pay without getting it approved in advance, so. But like I said, he's aware of the exceptions that we've had before, and then we've also told him about, and I think the thing to do is just go ahead and inform him again that within that pay period, he should allow the person that incurs the overtime to take off those hours during the pay period. Does that sound right?
He's in.
All right, that's fine. So, do you want, I
I'll
probably,
let you, write a letter and speak with him.
okay, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Those favors say aye.
Aye.
All right, we'll go ahead and draft a letter to get to him to,
What do we do about this then?
well, that's, the question is this is the same as the last time. It's so many hours each time, and, like I say, I guess this was incurred on 3/3/17, and you received this on 3/21, which is 18 days later. But does the commission want to pay this or not? If so, I need a motion to pay for the 3 hours.
I mean, it's not this boy's fault.
No.
I mean, I feel like we should pay him if he worked up, but then we really need to stress,
The one thing in doing that is it sets precedent.
I know.
And I don't have any problems with that as long as if we make a motion to do that this one time, then I think we'd probably be okay. But, you know, we have, And in drafting the letter and sending it to him, it would be the third time that we actually addressed this with the sheriff. So, if it's your feeling we ought to go ahead and do that, then I would accept a motion to pay this 3 hours at one time only. If someone would want to
Do
make
you
that
feel
motion.
like we should?
Yeah, I mean, it's not this guy's fault.
Right.
You know, I mean, you know, this guy, the sheriff's new, and, you know, I know you counseled, and I know you sent letters before, but that's what we need to do.
Well, I think this commission would be willing to look at, if he wanted to submit a request for 3 hours or
Yeah.
whatever, we would approve it. I mean, there's no problem with that.
We've already looked, yeah.
I think the importance of it is though that we treat all elected officials the same
That's right.
concerning this, and that's part of our policy, the personnel policy we have, so.
Being fair.
But I do think that when people incur, you know, if they're not taking off at that time period, then, you know, they need to be reversed, like we're saying, you know, Anthony does what his boss tells him to do, so we can't blame Anthony, so he shouldn't suffer in doing this, or any of the other deputies.
Well, here's the thing, I'll do it now, but I won't move to do it after this.
Trying to see what,
Yeah.
so I have a motion for one time to do
Yeah,
this.
so moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and pay this 3 hours overtime this time, and then we'll send a letter to the sheriff, asking him if he'll go ahead and submit, anticipated overtime requests to the commission in advance. And then, if not, then any, overtime incurred by the, deputies, they're to take, that time off during that pay period to make up the difference. Thank you, guys. Next on the agenda, I have West Virginia Workforce Appointee. This is for Workforce West Virginia.
Did you get a letter addressed to you from them?
No, I didn't. I didn't.
How did this come about?
Yeah, we got.
Because
well,
I was,
no,
I
they
was
got
on,
brought it in.
I was on Workforce West Virginia.
I
And it-
thought
and it-
I was.
Well, you're on the Region 2, but this is something separate. This deals with like retrained minors and all those things that they do. And it would be my suggestion, unless KK has a great need to do that, that because you're on Region 2 development, that you be the one that serves on Workforce West Virginia.
I mean, I don't care to, I really thought I was the first of the year, but
So-
I haven't,
Is that all right?
I haven't got any correspondence.
Yeah, I didn't even.
The
even
guy
realize
brought
all
this in, what's his name? It says Gene Hager, but that's not his name. His name is Claude Hunt.
Mhm.
Brought this, handed it to me and said they just needed somebody to be appointed on.
Okay, I need a motion to appoint Phoebe Hartles to West Virginia Workforce Board.
So moved.
I'll second that. All those in favor say aye. All right, Phoebe, you're the person for that. We have no unfinished business or possible action. The commission will review the new business as presented. Is there any changes that you see that needs to be done?
No.
If not, I'll ask for a motion to approve the new business as presented.
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye. New business passed. We're in open discussion. Commissioner Matthews, do you have anything? Commissioner Harris? Okay. The only thing I want to make a comment on, I know we've had a lot of friends of Lincoln County that's passed away lately, and I've maybe been remiss in not mentioning Johnny Tully and some of these people, but in the last week we lost Howard Sanders, who was served in Pearl Harbor, as did his brother Wetzel, and he passed away this week. And he was a good friend of the county as well as a good friend of mine. I think a good friend of anyone that's ever known him. That he did a lot to help people that sometimes we don't hear about. And I think it's he was a great Lincoln Countyan, and I think that we all, when we think about who's done what to the county, need to keep our people from the service in mind, and especially these old 90-some-year-old people that served at Pearl Harbor and things of that nature. So I would just like to say that I think Howard will be missed, and I think we're a little less bright than we used to be when he was here. But that's all I have. If we don't have anything else, I ask for we'll have a motion to recess the Lincoln County Commission at this time.
Yeah, we can
Okay.
recess until-
We're going to recess this session of Lincoln County Commission until April the 18th at 6 p.m. to lay the levy. So do I have a motion to do so?
So moved.
Is there a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, we'll see you guys. Thanks, guys. Thanks you guys for.